Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the news today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool that will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. And the best part? It works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, November 3rd. I'm Mark Dent here with Juliet, Bennett, Rylah, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Today, we're going to talk about some big news in the streaming world. Disney has purchased Comcast's stake in Hulu, giving the House of Mouse basically total control over the streamer. What is that going to mean for Disney, and what is it going to mean for the streaming economy at large? We're going to talk about all of that here in just a little bit, but first, let's get you caught up on everything else happening in the world of business and tech. All right, let's start off with something fun. Six Flags and Cedar Fair are merging to become one $8 billion amusement park business. It's going to become one of North America's largest theme park companies, controlling 27 amusement parks, 15 water parks, and 9 resorts across 17 states. Moving on, the Super Bowl is not until February, but CBS has already sold out of ads, which cost $6.5 million to $7 million per 30-second slot. Up next, Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, has been popular with just about everybody in the country except for Justin Timberlake. The numbers have come in, and the book has sold 1.1 million copies in the US in its first week. Simon & Schuster paid up to a reported $15 million to secure rights to the pop star's tell-all, so that was looking like a really good investment.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We had like Britney mania when we were all much younger, including Britney. And then, it was Britney everything, biggest pop star of her time. And then, of course, it was like all this stuff about how she was shaving her head. I remember hearing about that forever. And then she was stuck in this conservatorship. And I feel like the appeal here and why this was such a good investment is this is possibly the first time we've ever really gotten to hear Britney talk about her life on her own terms.
Oh, totally.
Even interviews that she's done in the past, it's like the interviewer is guiding the conversation. I don't typically read memoirs, but I was like, I would read this memoir.
Sure.
She made a lot of money. She's a complete entertainment powerhouse, but how much do we really know about her that isn't sold to us by other people, Right.
It's finally from the mouth of Britney Spears and also Michelle Williams, who has been doing the audio and getting rave reviews. All right, next story. Starbucks is having a good quarter. Your sugary latte and all those customized drinks have helped same-store sales jump 8%. And finally, art spending is having a down year. A survey showed that there were fewer transactions overall, and high-end private collectors are saying that art made up 19% of their spending this year, which was down from 24% last year. Okay. That's it for the news. Let's move on to the main story. Disney has announced that it's going to buy Comcast out of Hulu. You may have seen this coming, of course, because it's been talked about forever. Hulu has long been known as the one streamer that is kind of on the auction block as much as any of them. And now it's official. Disney bought out 33% of Comcast's stake, and it's going to be roughly for $8.6 billion. It's supposed to become finalized by December 1st if everything kind of shakes out that way. Juliet, either way, this seems to be a huge move for Disney and potentially something that could have ripples across the streaming economy.
Yeah, it's something Disney's talked about for a while now. Disney CEO Bob Iger said he wanted to merge the platforms into a single app. Previously, he was talking about the exciting advertising potential if it was, this combined app.
Ooh, so exciting for them.
Yes.
Right.
The subscriber appeal, and I think this is probably true, is that you would get all the Disney Plus content. So if you're a Marvel, Star Wars person, you'd get all those TV shows.
Right.
But then you would also have non-Disney content, like every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and The X-Files, which is over on Hulu. And then also, shows that are coming out in real time. I think Our Flag Means Death is on there. I can't remember what else is on there, but there's a lot of stuff. You would get a lot of stuff.
Sure.
The interesting thing to me is that Disney has controlled Hulu for a long time. It's just that it's had 66% roughly and Comcast has had 33% of the company, roughly. And customers can already purchase Disney Plus and Hulu bundles for about $10 a month, right, or they can add ESPN Plus for $15 a month. So pretty much everyone knew this was going to happen, and it's kind of already playing out that Disney is in control of this and you can already bundle it. So on one hand, it's not that exciting of a news story, to be honest.
Yeah. Just at first glance, it sounds like Disney might just be able to make more money off of ads because of this. And for us, the users, may not turn out to be all that different.
Yeah. And it's kind of more broadly like what is happening with streaming overall. Mm-hmm. We're seeing this happen a lot. We saw HBO combine HBO Max with Discovery Plus into Max, and Paramount Global is merging its Paramount Plus with Showtime. So basically, we're seeing these big streamers consolidate, give us a single app, probably raise prices. We've seen pretty much every streamer rose their prices this year. And then, of course, if you want to save money, you're going to have to take advantage of those bundles, just like cable. And you're going to have to choose if you want to pay extra to not see ads, just like cable. So it's like, here's the new thing. It's the same as the old thing is basically what we're seeing.
Yes, all the companies are doing everything they can to undo everything that they have done and bring us back to the year 2011, basically.
Right. And I don't really see another choice for them, to be honest, because when you just had Netflix, it was like, cool, I have Netflix. And now I have HBO. Like, I think everybody got HBO because it's like, oh, I want to watch Game of Thrones, or I want to watch, I don't know, whatever other big thing was on there. But now it's like there is a streaming service for literally everything. And then people wind up with 20 streaming services that they're not using. A lot of users do this thing where they're like, okay, well, I want to watch this one show. So I'm going to wait till all the episodes drop. I'm going to get the free trial of the service for a month. I'm going to binge the show. Then I'm going to cancel it. Or I'm only going to have Netflix when my favorite show is on. So if that's Stranger Things, boom, I'm going to do it for this month and then I'm going to cancel it. And especially as people are cracking down on password sharing, it doesn't make sense to have 20 different streaming services when you're only watching one show at a time. So a great way for these companies to reduce churn is to give them something to watch all of the time so that you are choosing their service to keep year round. And that, I think, is kind of the appeal of having the Disney stuff, which is you want to watch all the new Star Wars shows, here they are. You want a reason to subscribe all year long, here's all the other stuff. I think we're going to see more of this consolidation because otherwise, who has the ability to have 20 different streaming services? Unless you're just like one of those people who's really bad at remembering to cancel, like me. Yeah, that's what I do.
Exactly. Yeah, when I used to talk to a lot of analysts in the streaming business, and they posited that maybe within the next few years, there might only be like 3 or 4 streamers. Like there's going to be that much consolidation because it is just not possible to make money off of this unless you are just gargantuan. And to the point where Disney Plus, it got so many users so quickly and was kind of considered a golden child just, 3 years ago during the pandemic. And I was looking it up earlier today, and Disney's streaming lost around $500 million in Q2. And if you look since 2019, they have streaming losses of around 11 billion.
Right.
I mean, you can't even get your head around those numbers. They're so large. When you think about how many people actually do generally enjoy streaming, there needs to be some kind of centralized component for any of these companies to really have a chance to actually make money.
Right. It seems like the power move would be to have the kind of original content that really excites people. So that's your Stranger Things, your Game of Thrones, your Star Wars Marvel Universe. Over on Amazon, that's stuff like The Boys. Maybe Lord of the Rings, that didn't get people as excited as I thought it would. Maybe Wheel of Time. But, stuff like that. And then to have like a very deep archive, much like Hulu has, much like Amazon when it made that big MGM purchase, of stuff that people want to watch. That's their comfort shows that they're like, well, sometimes I come home and I put on an episode of The Office or The X-Files, stuff like that. So you've got the new stuff that people are excited about, but then you have enough of a backlog that it's worth keeping you around.
Yeah, basically the stuff that you could just find on those kind of random cable channels back in the day.
Yeah, which for me was always the movie Tremors.
Oh.
I feel like every time I would flip through the channels, Tremors would be on.
Kevin Bacon, definitely a classic.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for us today. So thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We have a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. So if you're not subscribed, please go get signed up at thehustle.co/email, and we will catch you next week.
Let me tell you about a show that I've been loving lately. It's called Entrepreneurs on Fire. It's hosted by the incredible John Lee Dumas. It's available now on the HubSpot Podcast Network. Entrepreneurs on Fire stokes inspiration and shares strategies to fire up your entrepreneurial journey and create the life that you've always dreamed of. I'm a big fan of this podcast. It has energy, it has value, and it's all about learning about entrepreneurship. I was just listening to an episode the other day. JLD interviewed Jay Rogers, who was such a wealth of information. He kind of went into how entrepreneurship chooses you. You don't necessarily choose it, and that failure only happens when you stop trying to win. A lot of gems in this one. So I highly recommend checking out that particular episode along with the rest. So go listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire wherever you get your podcasts. Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.